Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at ARBITRUM. This has been a community request and unfortunately we don't have a lot of data on this one, so a lot of this is speculative. So we're going to discuss a couple of things and what we could see within the chart here. So a couple of possibilities to the upside and the downside and what we see going on in the shorter term moves here. So basically what we're looking for here, like I said, we don't have a lot of information here to work with. We just really have this strong move up on launch and then basically the sideways movement going on here. There are a lot of things this can be. This could be potentially a triangle. It could be a bigger move that is still building to the downside here. Or alternatively, we could have completed into this low here of this 109, and we could be starting to build to push to the upside. So we're going to discuss all these things within the video. Okay, so basically, I'm going to just go over a couple of the macro things I'm looking for here. There is the potential we could see something like this. Let me just actually remove these boxes lower down here. But basically, what we could see is that, we see this whole move as an A wave, and then we could be within a B wave move to the upside here, potentially, and then look for this C wave to the downside. So this would be one of the bearish scenarios where this whole move here is A, looking for a B, and then looking for the C wave to the downside. So technically speaking, we could be starting to form something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially looking to come up here into this rejection area, which is this $1.47 to this $1.26 range, and then basically looking for that possibility to continue to the downside. If we did have to come up to this one-to-one, the one-to-one to the downside would be around this 92 cents range. So this would be looking at the fact that we would be potentially looking to push up for this as a C wave to the upside. The problem that I have here is that we can potentially count this move to the downside as a diagonal. So it's making me think we could not get, maybe we might not get up as high as this zone and actually look to reject down before that. So the other way that I'm looking at it is that potentially, instead of looking at this move in that sense, looking at this as a W into here, this is an X, and then actually looking at this as an a B, and we're still looking to form the C wave to the downside. So the C wave to the downside, if this is the case, where we look at this rather so this would be sort of validated by actually taking this low here of this $1.10. If we take this low, then we have to basically treat this 5 wave move to the upside here as a flat, where this is A, B, and C. So that could then be that B wave completed already. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on here. If we do see something like this, potentially this one-to-one target, like I said, towards this $1 region is open here. And we could see this play out as A, B, and then possibly start to form a 5 wave move to the downside. So this would be another one of the bearish scenarios here. We're basically looking at this as an A, this is a B, then that potential to form a 5 wave structure coming down into this lower range here of this $1 region. So keep an eye on this if it starts to break down. So the key thing here is for as long as we remain below this $1.29, this is a valid count. And then basically what we'd be looking for would be that possibility of rejecting up here between this $1.21 to this $1.25 area. So basically what we need to be on the lookout here is if we form just 3 wave moves to the upside here, potentially we could look to take some of these zones and then look to push back to the downside here. We would form this as a 1, this is a wave 2, and then look for that bigger 3rd wave. If we did have to come up here towards the this 0.618, which is sitting at this 123.05. Potentially that 3rd wave target would be down here towards this 101 region. So this is something that we need to just keep an eye on. We could still see, this bearish structure develop for as long as we fail to break above this 129. The alternative, the bullish way of looking at this would be that, potentially we have ABC completed into here, and now we're starting to move away in either a bigger A, a B, and a C, which would look to target out this 134 range, or alternatively a bigger 5 wave structure, potentially looking for this 148 for a 3rd wave. So this could play out here. This is valid for as long as we hold 110. If we lose that zone, this would invalidate that possibility of this being a 1-2. And then, like I said, at that point, we'd have to treat this as an A, B, and C, which would then, imply to me that we're going to see some further sell-offs here to the downside, potentially in that bearish WXY move towards that $1 range. Okay, so if we want to talk about bullish scenarios here, basically what we'd be looking for is we've already come down into this zone. Like I said, there's a couple of ways we can count this move. Potentially, you could count this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as a diagonal. Alternatively, you could just call it, this a W, this an X, and then potentially another Y wave down here with a zigzag. So, with that said, basically, we seem to have um, quite a strong move up here. And what I'm looking for is whether this is actually becoming a 1-2. So what this would look like is something like this. And basically what we'd be looking for is that potential that within here we have a wave 1. This is an ABC for an A, a B, and so this would actually be a WXY rather than an ABC. But basically the idea is the same. So potentially we're looking for a retest of some of these lower ranges here. $1.50, $1.1550 is going to be a key zone. You don't really want to lose this area, otherwise it becomes more likely we're going to see, this move break down. If we hold this $1.1431, we can look for this possibility of a direct push to the upside, but the move needs to needs to prove itself basically. So the first part of that is maintaining this low. The second part of that is maintaining the support zone, and then basically from there, what we want to see off the back of this is once we find a low down here, basically to see 5-wave structure pushing us up towards this $1.25. If we do get this, basically then what we'd be looking for is that possibility of another fourth wave in here, and then a fifth wave, which could look to take us up towards this $1.28 to this $1.26 range. So this is this is all valid for as long as we hold this low point here, this $1.1435. If we do push down lower than that, I just want to have a look at this. I think we did achieve 1-to-1, but I'm just going to check it out. So we did actually come down bang on to that 1-to-1. But if we do have some kind of a more complex correction here, maybe it's got another leg to it in a W, X, Y, X, and a Z wave. Potentially what we could look to do is actually push down a little bit deeper here, and possibly move down towards, if I just throw this onto this high, for instance, this $1.09 would be a 1-to-1 if it's a WXY, but I wouldn't really want to see it come down that low. What I'd be looking out for here is that, potentially within this, if I just throw on the 136 and the 1382, potentially we could see that that 1-to-1 is there. Yeah, I mean, it would be very deep if we come down any deeper than that. The 1236 would actually bring us back into these lows. So I really wouldn't want to see that break. By the time we start doing that, it's probably more likely that the bearish scenario is playing out. So we just have to be careful here. We've come down to that 1-to-1. We're waiting to see if we get that reaction. If we fail to develop it, need to be careful of that possibility of continuing to sell off here. And then, looking to actually take these lows out and then potentially set a new low here and possibly even form a bigger 5-wave move down towards that $1 range. So, we need to just be a little bit careful with this bullish count. It needs to prove itself now. Basically, we need to hold these key support zones. We need to see this getting, getting a nice strong move to the upside here. Otherwise, basically, it would look to invalidate. But what we would want to see is basically have a nice five-wave move up here into this $1.28 range. Basically, a 3-wave move to the downside for this wave 2, and then seeing a much bigger, stronger, move up towards this $1.42. If we just form this move in this manner, where we form this A, B, and then we form 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this, but we don't actually reach this $1.50 range, we need to be careful that, this isn't just a corrective structure as an A, B, C, which would tie into that idea that, we could be looking for this yellow B wave here, which that rejection area is, slide this over, this 147 to this 126. So we can see that there's, some interesting levels in here. That 0.618 to 0. That golden pocket basically would be here right on these highs. It's $1.40 to this $1.38. Yeah, so I'd be cautious around here if we do start to move up here, but we fail to reach 150. Could mean that we just have a 3-wave move up, in which case we could be looking to drop for the C wave at a later date. So we'll have to be careful with this. Really what we want to do if we're looking for that bullish aspect within this is getting up towards this 150, taking out some of these key highs, and then basically looking for that, because what we'd want to see, we're looking for a new trending move, is basically for this to become 1, 2, get a nice strong move up here for this 154.3, potentially get a fourth wave, come back into some of these key levels here, and then see that fifth wave to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then from there we'd have to monitor the retracement once again, and then look for that possibility that we have further extension, or whether this is the end of a sequence and we could actually set some new lows here. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Basically, we don't have a lot of data, so it is a lot of guessing, educated guessing, I guess. But yeah, we just need to see what plays out here. This is the bearish scenario, what I'm looking out for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. Then that potential that we could see a three-wave move up here, A, B, and C. So this is going to be that bearish scenario where we fail to break back above this 128. Potentially what we could see here is this move play out as an A, B, and a C to the upside. 1 to 1 would take us to this $1.22 range. But really the whole rejection area is here from this 125 before to this 121.33, and then basically we've got some key highs here that are interesting. So this is right on the 702, which would be this $1.24, and then higher up here this 786. We've got some swing highs in this zone as well, so be interesting to see if we get a rejection of some of these levels, if we do actually move back up here. So if we do move back up here, get a harsh rejection and start to sell off deeper, potentially what we could see is that deeper move down towards this $1 region, and that would then look to try and confirm this third wave here. We do get a move down here, three-wave move to the upside, watch out for this fourth, and then another five-wave move to the downside, and look for these low zones of this $1 to this 97-cent range. Obviously, if we do start to form something like this, we will start to get some additional structure within here, which we can try and work some subwaves off of. For instance, this 1, 2, we can project it out, look for a fourth and a fifth, and it could be that it potentially takes us a little bit lower or a little bit, it might take us a bit lower than this region. I wouldn't like it to take us higher than this because we really want to see this 101 for confirmation of this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to the downside. So this is what we're looking out for. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. As well as that, you'll find additional links for PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there. Both great exchanges we use on a regular basis. Check them out if you do not have an account. Using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.